Home sweet home.
So, like, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets has been out for almost a week now. So, my question is, why did we go see this?
I'm asking myself that right now, too, actually. Probably just because it had good visual effects in the trailer. I don't know. I don't know.
What's weird about the movie, though, is that, like, I've seen people giving it actually good reviews just based on the visual effects. Like, the visuals carried the storytelling through. I'm like, did you miss the acting and the dialogue and the storytelling and literally everything else about the movie? Because it's all trash. The movie's garbage.
Are the visuals new, though? Like, they're good.
No.
But was there anything that's like,
no,
that's new and innovative and
no?
Wow.
A movie like Avatar, I think you can say, is elevated by its visuals.
Yes.
You are not in Kansas anymore. You are on Pandora.
You should see your faces.
We have an indigenous...
But a movie like Valerian, it looks like a cartoon for most of it.
Yeah,
it's like a live-action cartoon.
A lot of it was super similar to things I've seen before, like...
Yeah, and...
I don't know.
And a lot of it was, like, cheap cop-outs for scenes. Like, the one scene when, he's in a hallway, Valerian's in a hallway, and he's like, what's the fastest way to get to the commander? And Cara Delevingne is like, 130 degrees around, and he spins around, and it's just a wall, and he's like, it's a wall! And she said, you wanted the fastest way! And so he smashes through, like, 15 different biomes, and it's just a visual effect, the entire thing. It's like a terrible visual effect.
Yeah, I tried to forget about that part, actually.
It's just, like, cheap. It's so cheap. It's a cheap way to get this story done. Like, I don't know how to film this. Visuals.
I'll give him the fact that it's cool he could put on a single helmet and suddenly use the Hulk.
And smash through steel
he
walls.
put on, like, a glass helmet with maybe, like, some metal on it. And all of a sudden he's running through walls, like, jumping at high levels.
So my question about this movie is, what is the point? What's the purpose? Why was this made? Oh, not just for money, but why was this made?
Well, I don't know. I'm under the impression this was made, like, it's not your everyday movie, and I think it was a bedtime story. I really do. Because there's, like, references, like, at the very end it said, to my father. It was a movie, you were saying, that was made completely just off of money of his own. It wasn't like...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was his own project. He wanted to do it. My only reasoning is because I think he has some weird story with his father that's like, haha, let's play Valerian and in the backyard, Dad. And then, 40 years later, his dad's gone and he still wants to play Valerian. He has no one to play it with.
Well,
so he has to make this movie.
I wish that was true, but I did some research.
No.
I did some research.
No,
and turns out it's based on a comic book. It's a comic book that's been made into a movie. So, I don't know why this movie was made. I mean, the guy put $180 million into it of his own, and then got Styx to distribute it. Like, what was he thinking? Why was this a good idea? What made him think this was a good idea?
We're a team.
$180 million is a lot of money, and he put that to some good visual effects. I'll give him that, but
That's probably like half the budget.
yeah, it was. He spent $90 million on visual effects, which is cool.
Because it's like a Disney movie.
But he spent $0 on story. That's the problem.
Another problem is, he wrote it himself. So it kind of just goes to show what kind of a writer he is. Because it's just terrible.
It's hard to call him a writer. No, I'm sure he's a nice guy and good intentions.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I mean, honestly, I don't think he's, like... But that dialogue,
It's like an 80-year-old man writing dialogue for teenagers.
Yeah.
It's dreadful. Like, it's hard to explain how bad this movie is without just, like, going into every aspect of it, because everything is terrible. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand how people can't see that it's terrible. It's not just mediocre. It's not just okay. It's not just bad. It's terrible. It's so bad.
But what makes it so good is that you can laugh the entire time. Like, don't get me wrong, it's an absolute awful movie. Mm-hmm. Like, the dialogue, I can't tell if it was an 80-year-old or a 5-year-old that wrote it. But it wasn't normal. But it's so bad that you can laugh at it. There's specific scenes I'm sure we'll talk about that are just absolutely hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And when you look back at it, you're like, oh, the director didn't mean for that to be funny. He was serious. Like, I'm just laughing at his work.
I know. It's embarrassing. The first scene in the movie is incredibly confusing because it's very disjointed in how it's told. The first scene in the movie is on a planet, some random planet, and it's like this happy sequence, and you see that the girl that you're following around has like a love interest, and it's really bizarre because you're like, what's the point of this? And then the planet explodes, and then it cuts directly to the main two actors. Mm-hmm. And through the entire movie, I thought, what was the point of that scene? It's literally purposeless, only to show what the backstory of this planet was, that you find out later anyway.
I mean, I think their intention was to build up, like, the love for this character, because she plays a major role in it, like, mm-hmm. not to spoil the whole movie, but, like, I don't know, you feel for her the whole movie. But that's what their intention was, is for me to actually care about her. But they just had her dance around, find someone she kind of likes, and play with these weird lizards that poop pearls, and she try to find her dad. And then
she gets absolutely annihilated by a gigantic spaceship.
She gets freaking blown up.
Let's talk about that scene. So later in the movie, I'm gonna just spoil it because I don't care. But later in the movie, you find out that there was a war above the planet, and one of the spaceships crashes into the world, and somehow, it shows it in a big wide visual, and the alien ship smashes into the planet, and it immediately gets completely obliterated. Like, it hits the planet, just goes poof, and the planet completely gets annihilated. And in the opening sequence, it's like the spaceship hits, and it creates this huge like shockwave that goes and kills her. But no, in the flashback, it's like the planet gets annihilated. And somehow,
1 second the planet was there, the next it was gone.
It was dust. After that whole multi-dimensional market happens, that's the scene that actually kicks off the plot. So nothing's happening for the first 30 minutes of the movie. Yeah. And then you find out that they went in to get one of those lizard things from the opening sequence. And they take it to the City of 1,000 Planets. And the first thing they do is go to see the commander. And literally, he walks on screen. And I was like, he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's so embarrassingly told. Like, everything about this movie is the most predictable way it could have happened.
Yeah, they didn't even try and make you think, like, oh, I like this general. Like, he has good intentions. It was like,
no, it's...
Yeah, you're acting evil.
The first thing he does...
From the very first
thing he does is has
him.
robotic stormtroopers. Yeah. like, these gigantic black robots. I was like, what's going on with this guy? And then he's like, there's a red zone in the middle of the planet. Yeah. I don't know who put it there. And I was like, you put it there. And then that's the end. And then that's what happens. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to even try and think like, oh, plot twist. He's a bad guy. No,
yeah.
It's like, a good plot twist would have been like if he's actually a good guy. If they try and at the end he's like, no, like I'm helping this planet. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't see that coming. But no, he's the bad guy.
No, he's the bad guy. Yeah, and it was like they tried to make it the people from that planet, the red herring. Like they come in and they shoot up this council meeting, and you're supposed to say, ooh, these people are evil, but the opening scene shows them like the most peaceful people on the friggin' planet, on the universe. They're just the most peaceful people. And then they shoot up that council, and they shoot them with like gel. It doesn't kill anyone. It's like, how are you supposed to think
they were flamethrowing these people down to death? I'd be like, okay, I can get behind this. But no, they're shooting like gel, like hair gel at these people. Yeah. Like, oh, go to sleep for a little bit. I'm gonna shoot you with this, and then they're just going to sleep. And like,
yeah.
Cool.
It's terrible.
Luckily, our hero Valerian was able to throw a device into his mouth that was actually a pair of scissors. so that when he put that in his mouth and he's under the gel, it was able to open up and become a pair of scissors that slit him, and he's able to be open.
And you know
I'm so grateful for Valerian.
And you know what's great about Valerian is that when he does that, it doesn't do anything. It means nothing. Yeah, they get away anyway.
But it's a cool gadget.
But it's a cool gadget.
Yeah,
it's a neat little spider gadget.
Well, yeah, I mean...
It's so pointless, but it's neat.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's so neat.
He had just like a little piece in his mouth, and all of a sudden he could use these scissors.
I thought it was going to be the air breathers from Star Wars.
Yeah,
that they put in their mouth.
That's honestly what it looked like.
Because that's what I thought. I was like, oh, it's gonna suffocate him.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like gel.
No, yeah, and
it
then
just
he
puts him to sleep.
goes and pulls out a giant knife from his pocket and cuts open his friend.
Oh, crap.
The actress of the year.
I wish he cut her open.
Oh, yes, right. Cuts the gel off. That would make a movie I can watch.
That would be awesome.
If he just slit her throat.
Yeah, she's terrible.
Yeah,
like she was the Enchantress in Suicide Squad, and she just plateaued in awfulness. She's so bad in this movie. It's like half the time it looks like she has no idea where she is, and the other half the time it looks like she's forgot her lines.
Hey, I work for the government.
I don't know. I spent many minutes after that movie thinking, like, did they really mean that? Like, were they trying? Was this serious? Was this real acting? 'Cause I don't believe it.
They can't. There's no way. And I think we should talk about the scene that happens after this is when Cara Delevingne, I think her character's name's Laura Lee or something.
Laura Lee or something.
And she goes and rescues him. And she gets kidnapped by a butterfly.
Oh yeah, she touches a butterfly that also has a rope attached to it. Oh yeah, because these giant trolls fish with butterflies. That's right, and she grabbed the butterfly and gets caught up by this troll. That's what it is.
And then it kicks off the longest filler scene I've ever seen. It's like 45 minutes of nothing happening.
Yeah,
they get kidnapped, awful. And then you meet Rihanna.
Yeah.
And she's a shape-shifting bubble man.
Oh, she's literally... Isn't she called Bubble?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's called Bubble.
And it actually shows her at one point about to get stabbed, and she goes like around the blade. She moves her body around the blade. But then in the next scene, when they slide down into a dumpster, she's dying.
Can we just take a moment to talk about Rihanna?
It's probably the worst performance of the year.
Oh, Rihanna.
She's just terrible in this movie.
I'm sure you're great at music. You can stick to that. I don't really listen to your music, but...
she's definitely watching this video.
Yeah. You're definitely watching me, trash your music. But I know people listen to your music. But don't act. Rihanna, she spent 15 minutes as like a stripper show.
Oh yeah, there's an elongated sequence where she's on a stripper pole just changing outfits.
Yeah,
and it has Ethan Hawke of all people, like prestigious actor Ethan Hawke, playing dubstep trap music on a piano while she's dancing on a pole.
Yeah, and like you find, I don't know, it's hard to even explain because like. You get the point, because Valerian finds himself in, like, this weird stripper-type place. Of course, Ethan Hawke, this, like, master, like, club master, really, this pimp, is playing dubstep music on a piano. And then Rihanna's on this pole. She shapeshifts into some different things. They're like, ooh, that's kind of cool. I get it. She's a shapeshifter. And then you find yourself 6 minutes later watching the exact same thing. She's still shapeshifting on this pole.
And it's changed songs like once.
Yeah, and at this point it's still more dubstep. But you're just like, come on.
I know, she literally just does like this with her cane and she changes clothes and the music goes... and she just goes... It's just terrible.
Yeah,
I don't know. Who put that scene in the movie? There's got to be an editor for this. Why did he think that was necessary? Why did the director think this was a necessary scene?
I'd be willing to watch 3 minutes because it is Rihanna. She's a good dancer, and of course they had to have her in there. Yeah, she's attractive. They had to have her in there for the fact that she's a big name. People want to watch her.
And honestly, she could have been a key part of this movie because she's a shapeshifter. She can turn into anybody,
and she can like morph too. Like Rendan was saying, Laura Lee was about to stab a giant troll, and she had to go through this shape-shifting Rihanna. And she just makes a giant hole for herself. And
then, nice. Yes, yeah. And then, yeah, she would have been like a great asset to their team. And that could have even been like sequel bait. Like, we're getting a team together and it's us but no, you know what happens? They fight some trolls. She slides down a chute and she's dead.
Yeah.
She slides down a chute and she says, "I was injured in the battle."
What's my line? The battle. The battle.
And they're like caressing her head, and she has these big black lips.
Oh yeah. It's the best part is they have no desire to change Rihanna's lips from when she's this like bubble monster type shape-shifting thing to when she's like her normal. They'll change it for everything else, but in order to distinguish that it's Rihanna,
it's
they
these
have
gigantic
the
black lips.
Like, you can't even make this crap up.
After that scene, it finally this mind you, this whole thing that we've been talking about for like 5 minutes goes on for 45 minutes,
and it's
if not
she
more.
Touched a butterfly.
Yeah,
that was bait for a troll fisherman.
Yeah, there's actually a sequence in this where a troll is showing dresses for like 5 minutes.
Oh.
It's like you're gonna wear this dress, and it's like a 5-minute sequence.
Listen, I didn't come here to get a makeover. I need to leave. Do you understand? I can't believe it. I'm not here to try on a stupid dress. Call your chief or a translator so we can at least communicate.
Yeah, this is just like a straight up paycheck movie for everyone but the director.
Paycheck for Dane DeHaan because that was bad.
It's bizarre because it's a paycheck movie for everyone but the director because the director has sunk so much money into it.
Wow.
Like,
so he won't get a single.
He probably won't get anything because it literally he put in about $200 million. They'll need $400 to break even, at least to break even. And you know how much they've made? It's been a week. They made $20 million.
Sorry, dude.
He's not making anything. That's going all to their distribution studio. It's going all to Sticks. He's not getting nothing. He's going to be out $200 million.
If you need a place to crash for the next 6 months, I got a little place you can sleep on my floor.
We'll give you screenwriting tips.
Man. That's the thing. They could have made it a comedy pretty quick because, like I said, we were laughing.
Oh yeah, it's like
but they were serious.
They could have advertised this movie as a parody of itself, and it would have worked.
Yeah, they could have.
It would have been hilarious. It would have been the best comedy of the year. But it's a Star Wars ripoff.
Yeah, it's serious. They really thought they had something there.
Yeah. I don't know what.
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but there was nothing.
No.
That was so bad.
The last scene in the movie, he puts a ring on it. And it's supposed to be like a tender moment with the swelling music, like la-na-na-da-da, and he puts the ring on and they kiss, and that's the last scene in the movie. It's just them floating off in a little spaceship. And I was like,
see that like they at the end they're like full on making out.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring it like it started off the kiss, but then like all of a sudden they're like
the camera's still on, guys. Oh, give us a second. And they just like, let's put this in the movie.
Please.
It's the best chemistry we've seen all movie.
Isn't that how Fifth Element ended?
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Fifth Element.
No, I guess
we got to see Fifth Element. Yeah, because that's the same director.
It was.
Wow. If that's the case,
high level.
This is even worse.
Yeah, what a poor experience.